All right, let's talk about a way of thinking that could honestly change how you approach, well, pretty much everything. It's all about getting rid of regret before it even has a chance to start. And the idea? It's simple, but it's powerful. You owe it to yourself to go all in.
You know this feeling, right? We all do. That little voice in your head, the what if that just won't shut up late at night. It's almost never the big, spectacular failures that haunt you. Nope, it's the times you held back, the times you didn't give it everything you had. You're just stuck, left wondering what you were really capable of.
So let's get real for a second. Think about it. What's that one big thing in your life right now that you're hesitating on? Maybe it's a new job, a difficult conversation you know you need to have, or that project you've been dreaming about but are just too scared to actually start. What are you just dipping your toe into when you know, deep down, you should be diving in head first? Just keep that in your mind.
To really get why going all in is so important, we have to look at the flip side. Let's dig into just how destructive holding back can be. We'll call this section the poison of half effort.
Okay, so let's break this down. On one side, you've got the path of half effort. And look, it feels safer, doesn't it? You're just testing things out, kind of protecting yourself. But then, on the other side, you've got full commitment. And yeah, it's scary, it's vulnerable, it's a true leap of faith. But it's the only way, literally the only way, to get a clear answer and really learn something about yourself.
And see, that's the trap, right there. When you only give 50%, you never really know. You can always tell yourself, oh, well, if I'd actually tried. It's this little safety net for your ego that completely stalls your growth. You end up with no useful information, no closure, just this big question mark hanging over your head forever.
So, if half effort leaves us totally stuck, what's the move? Well, the solution isn't some complicated strategy. It's a clear, simple command. The mandate is dive in.
And notice the language here. The goal isn't to win, the goal is to find out. It's all about getting clarity. Did this thing work? Is this the right path for me? When you dive in completely, you get a real answer, no matter what happens. You always come out the other side with something valuable.
You know, this is so important. We get so paralyzed trying to make the absolute perfect choice. But honestly, the momentum you get from just making a choice and going for it is way more valuable than just waiting around forever. You just have to move. Forward is always a direction.
Of course, the second we talk about going all in, that big fear pops into our heads. But what if I fail? Like really, really fail? Well, that's a good question, and it brings us right to our next section. Failure is part of it. This is about completely changing how you look at failure. When you fully commit, any mistake you make is 100% yours. You earned it. And you know what? That mistake becomes an asset. It's real-world data, a solid piece of ground you can use to push off from next time. Now you know for sure what doesn't work, and that is incredibly powerful information.
This quote just nails it. There's so much power in taking ownership. When you can look at a mess and say, yep, I'm the reason I stepped in it, you're not a victim anymore. You're the one in the driver's seat of your own story. Admitting you messed up isn't a sign of weakness. It's you taking back control. Because if you caused it, that means you also have the power to fix it.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we take a mistake and turn it from a roadblock into a launching pad? The whole key is to own your mistakes.
It really boils down to this simple 3-step playbook for turning failure into fuel. First, you have to own it completely. No excuses, no blaming anyone else. That's where you get your power back. Second, you make amends. If you made a mess that affected other people, you clean it up. That's how you restore your integrity. And third, and this one is absolutely vital, you move on.
Because staying stuck in that loop of guilt and regret, that's the real enemy here. It gets you absolutely nowhere. You are the author of your life story. A mistake is just one chapter. It's not the whole book. You have the power, right now, to turn the page and start writing the next one.
So, all of these pieces, the full commitment, owning your screw-ups, moving on, they all build up to this really profound way of looking at your entire life. It's a concept that frees you from the pressure of one single outcome. It's time to chase your immortal finish.
So what on earth is an immortal finish line? Well, it means your ultimate destination isn't something you can hold, like a trophy or a specific job title. The real goal is the journey itself, the process of becoming. Think of it this way. The best marksmen are taught not to aim at the target, but to aim through it. Your real goal is always just past the thing you're focused on right now.
Matthew McConaughey tells us an amazing story about this. Someone once asked him who his hero was. He thought about it and said, "It's me in 10 years." So 10 years go by, and they ask him again, "So are you your hero now?" And he says, "Not even close. My hero is me at 35. See? His hero is always a future version of himself that he's chasing.
And that right there is the freedom in this mindset. If the race is never truly over, you can never truly fail. You're just in a constant state of growing and chasing. It takes away all that crushing pressure of one single moment and lets you just enjoy the process of living.
And that's where we'll leave it, with this one powerful thought. If your hero is always a future version of you, then you're locked in this beautiful, endless race with your own potential. And it's a race you can never lose, as long as you just keep moving. So the only question left is, who are you chasing?